Hey, what's up, Street Talks? This is Eric Kim from the Eric Kim Street Photography blog. I wanted to give you guys all an update on just kind of what's going on and kind of give you a sense of what's to be around the corner. It's it's around 2 in the morning right now. I'm actually about to go from East Lansing back to LA. I have a really cool opportunity that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but I'll keep you guys all updated with that. So the last month, where did we go, Cindy? Where was? Okay, okay. So I came back from my Venice and Verona workshop, which was a week long with Adam Relly, which was a phenomenal experience, really once in a lifetime. And also the week after that, I did a Toronto Introduction to Film Street Photography workshop where we learned how to develop our own film and shot in the streets of Toronto on film. And the last few months, you guys know, I've been traveling like crazy. I didn't really have too much of an opportunity to rest. So after coming back from my travels, I really just got burnt out. And you know, the last week and a half, 2 weeks here in Michigan has been a really good opportunity for me to really relax and calm down and kind of decompress from everything. And it's one of those things that it's made me think a lot because I'm so blessed to travel a lot and see the world and meet some amazing people, but kind of at the end of the day, I'm starting to realize more and more how much of a blessing it is to stay at home. Um, and it's something that I'd really summarize by saying home is where the heart is. When you're traveling, you're not sleeping on your own bed, you're not near your loved ones, and being back at home, I've been able to spend a lot of time with Cindy, who's playing Plants vs Zombies on my iPad. She says she's working, she's not really working, but just this opportunity I've been able to have to spend time with her and really appreciate everything back here and just kind of slow down. And it's really funny because it is really like the grass is green on the other side. Is people say, oh, I wish I could go to New York. I wish I could go to London. I wish I could go all these cool places. But when I travel there, usually people who live there are just like, oh, it's no big deal. Like I was in New York and New York was insane. It was so head on and I had such a great time. But then I thought to myself, how could you ever run out of photo opportunities here? And people who live there are like, oh, New York's boring. I don't like it anymore. And same thing with people in LA, same thing with Paris, and it makes me really understand that the grass is greener on your side. And even people are saying, oh, you're moving to Michigan. What is there to do in Michigan? And for you guys who are curious, I live in East Lansing, and Cindy's going to school in Michigan State studying her PhD in history. And there's been lots of great things to shoot out here. I mean, it's been an opportunity to shoot like kind of more urban landscapes. Think about Lee Friedlander, Reflections in the Windows. And, Michigan's a pretty interesting place in terms of, the social things. Like, I was driving down the street and there's like this one house and it's got this huge orange banner that says like, deer hunting's in service. It's like ahead of a deer and like a shotgun, and there's like all these hillbilly trucks passing in front, parked in front, and it's like sponsored by Miller. Or you see lots of signs, political signs that say, oh, Obama's a socialist or a communist, vote Republican, or stuff like you never see in California or Los Angeles at least. So it's been a really interesting thing to see from another perspective. Like even gas stations, I see Confederate flags selling gas station. I'm like, whoa, this is something you never see on the West Coast. So taking a lot of photos of that. And in the last 2 weeks I've been here, I've been able to, even though I've been really burnt out, like, sorry, all those people I need to send emails to, I'm like totally behind. I'm a mess right now, but at the same time, it's given me the opportunity to, bust open some of my favorite photo books that I've really been meaning to write about for a long time. Like I did a blog post on Magnum contact sheets, one of my favorite books in terms of looking at all these great photographers' contact sheets to learn more about their working styles. And also a post on the work of Bruce Davidson, one of my favorite photographers of all time. He's kind of like a mix between street and documentary, even though he just likes to call himself a photographer, but that's how I kind of see his work. And was able to write really, really long, in-depth posts about them. And each of those posts, I mean, they've taken me maybe like 15 to 20 hours each. I mean, just the research, the writing, the formatting, the layout, the photos, the uploading and everything. But it's such a wonderful opportunity for me to not be traveling and sit down and actually be able to write and share some more of these things. And a lot of controversies kind of come up from that. People saying that issues with copyright, that you're disrespecting the photographer, what you're doing is not appropriate. And I kind of wanted to use this again as an opportunity to explain, why I do what I do. A lot of people will say to me, "Oh, Eric, you're just a whore. You just like to buy expensive cameras, and you're just about, you want a lot of traffic to your blog, and you just want to become a famous photographer, and you're just like copycatting." And I think that's totally fine that people have their opinions. But to kind of reiterate why I do what I do is because I've always been a huge, advocate and fan of this idea of open source knowledge. The fact that not everyone in the world could afford photo books, has access to them, and I think the state of photography is that people don't really know what good photography is. I mean, sure, we go on the internet, we just see tons of photos of like oversaturated photos, bokeh, HDR, like stuff that it's not really about great images. And I feel like there's so much great work out there that I have to share. I feel like it's almost my moral imperative. Like there's all these still ideas I have for blog posts I want to write and videos and this and that I'm not able to write, and it kind of keeps me up at night. And personally growing up too is that people are like, oh, you're a rich kid, you shoot with Leica, whatever. I mean, anyone who knows me, like the car I drive, it's like a $3,000 car. I will have like 3 pairs of clothes, and I like to consider that I live a pretty minimalist life. And I'm very fortunate to, of course, shoot with a Leica, but it's not something that it was pretty much my life savings. People was like, oh, you spent so much money on a camera, but people buy new cars, and I'm like, I don't own a house, I don't have any crazy credit card debt or anything like that. But growing up I grew up quite poor. I mean, my mom was pretty much a single mom, working like 3 part-time jobs, just hustling to make sure that me and my sister made it through school. And one of the things I always try to do is trying to help out more of the community. I taught a photography class to underprivileged school in Los Angeles. Whenever I hear of other photographers doing projects, I always try to donate money whenever I can, and also just donate my time and sharing just this love of photography, and just helping other people in the world, because so many people have helped me along my personal journey, and the least I want to do is, of course, give back. And so whenever of course I need to make a living, so I teach workshops to support myself. And people say, oh, the workshops are super expensive, stuff like that, and I know that of course it's not it's not cheap by any regards, but after my travel expenses, flights, accommodation, food, workshop venues, and it's I'm just more or less living month to month. And once again, I really want to share my experiences. And of course I don't know everything. There's so much I still have to learn, but at the same time I dedicate my entire life to street photography. I always think about it. I'm always shooting every day, and I'm always buying and trying to invest as much into my personal knowledge in terms of books. And I'm very confident of my teaching abilities through the classes that I took at UCLA in terms of teaching my own class. It was cool. When I was at UCLA, I actually taught a class titled Sociology of Facebook and Online Social Networks, made like a 10-week syllabus, had a great time there, and also taught an online street photography course at UC Riverside. And once again, I mean, thanks again for everyone for the support. I mean, I like to consider myself a pretty, ho-hum person, but a lot of people on the internet don't like me. I don't know why. But just update of what to look forward to. So got some stuff in the mail. The Mexican Suitcase. If you guys haven't heard of this, it's a book that was published recently, and it had an exhibition. Robert Capa and a bunch of other Magnum photographers during the Spanish Civil War. A lot of their photos went missing. They found the negatives in Mexico, made a book out of that. Tons of contact sheets. I'm gonna be writing about that hopefully in the next few weeks. Just bought a DVD. Hotspots by Martin Parr. So Martin Parr, a photographer who's had a huge influence on me, he did a work in Atlanta for a commission of the place, and it's a really fascinating DVD. It's about 30 minutes long. It's pretty short, but it's it's really well directed. Lots of great footage, photos. Kind of seeing Martin Parr in action, talking about his philosophy in photography. Highly recommend this. Oh, this big mother. Robert Frank, Looking In, published by Stidel, the best publisher in the world. It's huge. It shows, contact sheets and, from Robert Frank's Americans, and also have the original Americans. It's a blog post I want to do in the future, but it's going to take a while, of course, but stay updated with that. Also, I've been shooting color photography recently, exclusively the last like 5 or 6 months. So I've been investing a lot in interesting photo books in color. Gypsies by Patrick Carew. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. He's a photographer who traveled for around 10 years and take photos of gypsies, and very interesting photos. Like let me show you a few. And it's a nice companion to Kudelka's Gypsies, which came out republished by Aperture, which is a phenomenal resource. And you see all these photos of these gypsies with like awesome chain link necklaces, Ferraris in these parks, and it was a 10-year odyssey of photos all around. Let me just show you some photos, right? Sorry, I can't flip while talking, but photos of gypsies from all around the world, and a really interesting kind of a anthropological study on gypsies from all around the world. Beautiful color photographs. Highly recommend this as well. And of course, I'm packing my bags because I'll be back in California, in LA tomorrow. Got a ton of film. Recently, just bought 150 rolls of Portra because this should be enough film for the next 3 months traveling, because I tend to shoot about 50 rolls a month. And people asking me a lot about, oh, how do you manage to take film through X-rays at airports and stuff? And it's never been an issue for me because I just shoot film at 400. If you're not shooting film that is rated at 1600 or above, you'll be okay. I've taken it through like countless X-rays. It's never an issue. And of course, I'm always packing light and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just a quick update in my life in terms of everything. Thanks everyone for watching, for the love and support. It's been a crazy journey. I've been shooting street photography and teaching full time maybe for about, how long has it been, Cindy? Like a year now?
No, almost 2 years.
Not 2 years.
Yeah.
A year and a half maybe?
I don't remember.
Anyways, time just moves so quickly. It's only maybe been like a year and a half now, and although I'm perpetually jet lagged. Look at all these bags on my eyes. I sleep at really late times. I'm always working on my blog, answering emails, social media, and stuff like that. But I really do it from my heart, and hope that you guys continue to do this passion of street photography. And thanks for supporting the blog, watching the videos, giving me words of encouragement, because a lot of the haters, when they start writing really nasty things about me, it does hurt me a lot personally, and there's a lot of nights that I lose sleep over it, and but I get lots of encouraging emails and messages, which kind of gives me again the energy to kind of go forward. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and take care. Keep shooting, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. And take care. All right, peace out.